He called you a blessing, told you he was lucky to have found someone like you, and maybe for a while you believed it. But here's the truth. He didn't stay because you weren't there forever. You were the upgrade. You want validation. You want to know he finally sees you, whole enough, worthy. But here's the thing. He didn't upgrade his life, he upgraded his current situation and offloaded you the moment he got a better deal. So let's look at the lie you believed and thought you were building something real. You thought you were the one he had been waiting for. You gave him standards. You showed him how to communicate better. You inspired growth. He started eating differently, working out again. Maybe he read that book you mentioned, cleaned up his look, became softer, kinder for a while. He said all the right things, mirrored your values, agreed with your dreams. But what he really saw in you was an opportunity to reinvent himself, to feel like a man again, to rise from the ashes of his last failure and polish himself on your light. You were his recovery project, not his life partner. He wasn't falling in love. He was stepping into a better version of himself, all thanks to you. And you mistook that as emotional bonding. But it wasn't. It was upgrading, not attaching. So let's break this down. What happens? What always happens is that your emotions get hijacked by his past patterns. His head knows it's not deeper love, but your gut feels an echo of something you once knew. Why? Because part of your story looks like his addiction. Only for you, it felt original. His pattern is predictable. He loved another woman, really loved her, and the last time he thought of her, then something shifted. Grief, growth, a fresh face appeared, and his eyes scanned the new object with the same craving. Think of it like this. You were the luxury hotel he checked into while his house was being renovated. Beautiful, nurturing, fully equipped, but always temporary. He never intended to live there. He just needed a place to recharge before moving on. He's not falling in love. He's falling into a story he knows better than his own wounds. He wants validation again, but this time with someone fresh, and you're not the final chapter of his last pain. You were the hook, maybe a good one, but he's already biting off another bit of broken. That means you're being used as an upgrade, and he's already hooked on broken. So let's break it down. He has a need to validate his past. It's not working. Instead of processing an old pain, he processes new people with the same panic. This one feels familiar. She's not better or scarier than before, just a bit different. Why doesn't he really heal? Because his current relief is having an immediate emotional substitute for what's missing. So here's the emotional consequence. You are sitting in his past. You're mirroring someone he doesn't want to face again, except now it's you. And here's the kicker. He doesn't even know he left his last heartache to date you until it's too late. That means every time he uses a new woman as his upgrade, it doesn't matter who is there, he's doing emotional substitution. It's not love, it's a desperate need to feel good enough. The truth you didn't want to see, he never really saw you. He saw what you represented. Stability, class, growth, intelligence, healing. You were proof that he could do better, and now once he proved it to himself, he left. Not because you weren't good enough, because he never intended to stay. You were the training ground and not the destination. The damage it leaves behind, being the upgrade, feels worse than being rejected, because you were good, you were loving, you did everything right, and still you weren't chosen. But hear this, that's not a reflection of your worth. That's a reflection of his capacity. He couldn't love you because he was too busy becoming who he wanted to be next. Your power move? You weren't the placeholder. You were the upgrade. And that means you carry the qualities that changed someone's life. So don't try and disappear now. Don't dim your light just because someone used it to find their way out of the dark. He may have moved on, but he took your blueprint with him. And next time someone tries to connect with you, don't just ask, do they love me? Ask, do they see me? Because the upgrade deserves to be the forever, but only with someone who shows up whole, not just hungry. So let's look at 5 ways to reclaim your power and stop romanticizing your role in their story. You were not their savior. You were a stop on their journey. So stop being an emotional substitution for his past pain. He doesn't need a repeat of what broke him last time. Write a new narrative, because you weren't abandoned. You outgrew someone who was never fully emotionally equipped to meet you. No, he doesn't need you to heal his past. He needs therapy. Cut off energetic ties. Acknowledge that you're not here to be his substitute. Walk away emotionally. Unfollow, block, delete if you must. Don't let ghosts linger where your future needs to grow. Only invest in reciprocity. Set boundaries against emotional substitution. You won't be his last hope or regret. And the next person doesn't just get your light, they have to bring some of their own. Own your upgrade energy. See beyond the cage into his fear. You were the catalyst. Now be the keeper of that standard for yourself. And in my closing comments, he's been using you. That might sound like a complaint, but it's his broken heart that needs fixing and not yours. You were the temporary upgrade. His forever is a cage he refuses to leave, and you don't have to be a part of it. And the truth, his cage isn't upgrading, it's breaking down, and you're just a reflection of his last crack. You're not here to validate his broken heart, you're here to validate your worth, even when he can't. This isn't the end of your story, it's the start of finally being seen, held, and loved at your level.